1875, first steam engine rolled into Roma Street Station. 1979, air-conditioned electric trains arrive in Brisbane. 2024, Brisbane Metro Stage 1 commences. Love you, Brisbane.
The letters in the word Brisbane mean brilliantly radiant in sunlight, beautiful and never-ending.
Brisbane's doing some great things. Cycleways, for instance. They make cycling so much safer. But we've got to be careful we don't see electric cars as the solution. Wouldn't it be awesome if Brisbane could be a world leader in environmental architecture?
Brisbane's future is analogue. Residents communicate via carrier pigeons, navigate the city with paper maps the size of bedsheets, and settle disputes with epic rock and paper scissor battles. It's a farce, but it's a delight.
Greening urban areas. Things like vertical farms and vertical plant walls. Things like that help contribute to a greener and cleaner environment. Wouldn't it be great if countries around the world looked to Brisbane as a shining light in this area?
Brisbane, where kangaroos take the morning commute, coffee shops brew up a koala latte art, and sunscreen is the new currency under the Aussie sun.
Where do I see the future of Brisbane? I see Brisbane staying exactly the same.
With sunshine, we're Brisbane, from the mountains down to the sea. Yes, she's the city we love. She's the best in the world, and there's no place I'd rather be. I love Brisbane!
Okay, so we're going to finish up with Bris Vegas, the song by John Francis Kennedy.
JFK and the Cuban crisis.
Yeah, or the midlife crisis. And we'll get the audience to sing along.
Yeah,
what
we'll
do
do
you
a
think,
sing along.
Tim?
It's a cracker.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the end of the show.
So let's nail the beginning of the show, which we're almost there.
Yeah, so we start with, hi, I'm Therese.
And I'm Tim.
And we are Playabout Productions. And then I point to the backdrop and show our name. And then I say, welcome to the story of Brisbane. This is a story of Brisbane, where we perform excerpts of our wonderful Brisbane writers' works as they reflect on our place and people. Now, the original storytellers.
Yeah, we need to do the acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that the heart and soul of the story of Brisbane always will be the river.
Yeah, the river. Yeah.
And the Murrays call it Maiwar. Now that's a beautiful name to start any story. Maiwar. So if we talk about Maiwar, finds its source in up behind the Dagular Range, flows down the foothills onto the floodplain, starts to meander out to the ocean, past our iconic hill, Mount Cootha.
Yes, and that comes from Cootha, meaning the dark honey of the native bee.
Yes.
Yum yum. Yeah, and then it comes.
Which you see from the West End reach of the River Maiwar, which is the Karupa Reach.
Oh yes, Karupa. And then I'll do some great mime because I went to Lecoq School in Paris.
Reese, do your white tip water rat. That's good. now do the one that hasn't got the white tip, because that's Okay, so we've got Karupa Reach, and then there's the CBD Reach, where
Yeah.
South Bank is.
Yeah,
It's this one here, isn't it?
yeah, where it's nice and green.
Yes. Now that was called Meanjin.
Mansion.
Yeah. And then we tell the story of Meanjin, was the native water lily, 4 feet in diameter, was a carpet from bend to bend.
Yeah,
And
beautiful.
the big 6-foot stamen with the big yellow flower right up and down the bend.
Yeah, and they reckon that this bit of the CBD, where the Botanic Gardens is called Meanjin too, because it sort of pokes out into the river like the spike.
Used to come out more and they
Yeah.
cut it off after the
Yeah.
99 floods. So then we've got Meanjin and Maiwar flowing out to the ocean and entering in the most graceful way possible through the skirts of our beautiful bay.
Quandamuka. Yeah,
That's a-
gorgeous. And then we keep going to our beautiful sand islands that I've just returned from.
Oh yeah, rub it in, Therese.
Minjerribah,
Minjerribah.
place of the mosquito. The white fellas call it Stratty. And then there's Morton,
Yeah,
Mulgumpin, I think. Yeah, place of sand hills.
Place of the sand.
Yeah,
Terrific.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
See, people don't realise that these are Aboriginal language place names that they use every day.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they're still here and they're beautiful. Imagine the culture that had names like that for places.
Yeah. So
Gorgeous.
poetic, so much love of country. Yeah.
And still a culture, that keeps growing and changing and evolving and contributing.
Yeah.
Because we found those names.
Oh yes, we're
Those
going to put this in
contemporary
our
names.
show as a quiz.
Yeah, that's right. So, what was it? It was
Toonvaran,
Toonvaran, yes. That was
which means
Big Smoke, wasn't it?
big smoke, and Umpi Karumba.
Umpi Karumba. Many houses, place of many houses.
Yeah, and then we could make maybe a little joke about where we are now in Reload Espresso Bar
Yes, Reload Espresso Bar.
in Salisbury.
On the edge of the floodplain in beautiful Salisbury. Not a traditional name.
Yeah, although Melissa Lukashenko, the First Nations novelist who won the Miles Franklin Award, she reckons Salisbury means place of the mortgage.
She should know. She lives out here somewhere. Good on you, Melissa. Excellent.
Yeah, and so the First Nations people, still the heart of Brisbane and
The soul of Brisbane.
Yeah.
Meanjin. Maiwar.
Quandamuka.
Quandamuka. Beautiful. Thanks, Juliana.
So, have you given any thought to what you're looking for in a funeral? I understand this was very sudden.
Sudden? This time yesterday we were inspecting a house.
Oh, yes. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. How awful.
There was this ridiculous real estate market. It killed him.
What? What do you mean, Mum?
It was a heart attack. He collapsed in the backyard. Ellie didn't find him for 20 minutes.
But what does a heart attack have to do with real estate?
It was despair. It was the 6th place we'd put an offer on in the past month. Gray really wanted this one. When he found out we'd been outbid by a Sydney buyer again, he went all dark. I couldn't talk him out of it. He went outside and...
Well, our family are Catholic, Samantha, so we won't be doing a cremation. It would need to be a burial.
Whoa, Anne. Now, hold on. You know Gray wasn't a churchgoer. That's a bit of an assumption, Anne.
Oh, look, darling, it's what the Kavanagh family does. My Michael, Mum and Dad, his parents, they're all buried at Toowong Cemetery. I've got a prepaid booking there myself.
Anne, this is not about you. It's about his new family, his wife and his kids.
Mum, this is Grandma. We're all upset about that.
Oh, okay, I guess. And no, we haven't discussed funeral arrangements. We do have a will, but I guess we never really wanted to talk about this side of life.
You know, organising a funeral on top of dealing with a sudden passing can be really challenging. If I could make a suggestion, we don't have to do this today. What if I just lay out the different options and give you some materials? You can ask questions. I'll be totally upfront about the total cost involved. And then you sleep on it and we decide tomorrow?
Okay, Samantha, let's have it.
Well, of course there are two main options, burial or cremation, but within those options are several different choices.
Well, we've had a chat about it and we've done a lot of thinking and, well, we decided to go with the premium cremation service.
Yeah, we think that's what Dad would have wanted. And Grandma, we really appreciate you coming across on this.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys mean everything to me.
You do too, Anne. You know, if there's one thing I know for sure, Gray wasn't a believer. He wouldn't want a church, no way. But there's no reason we can't make it a bit special.
Yes, and Martin's idea to drop his ashes at his favourite fishing spot in Redcliffe. That sounds lovely.
Yeah, that sounds nice. Let's do that.
Well, okay then. If Ellie can sign down here, then we'll be all set for March 3rd.
Bro, this is Samantha. She's the funeral director.
What? Already?
Yes, Steve, these have to be done quickly. I was just about to sign it.
Sign? Sign what?
Look, let's sit down. We'll tell you all about it.
Well, we want to have a lovely outdoor ceremony, followed by a cremation.
A cremation?
And then...
No, that won't do.
But Steve, why?
Dad gave me this 2 years ago, after his heart scare.
What? But I'm a his wife. Why?
It's okay, Mum. He said you're reluctant to talk about death, but that he did have a special request.
What kind of request?
Yeah.
Well, cremation is out of the question.
Oh?
And a traditional burial.
Well, what else is there?
Green disposal. Dad wanted his body disposed of in an environmentally friendly way.
Enviro? Is there even such a thing?
Yeah, I've never ever heard the likes of it.
Are you seriously shitting me? What? Take your corpse to a recycling facility and get $10 for the corpse?
Actually, it is a thing. Well, not the $10 part.
What is it? You never told us about this.
For cremation, they say it is not environmentally friendly due to the incredible temperatures that is required. We have been aware of the green alternatives becoming available, but so far we have never been asked for it.
So what is a green alternative?
Well, according to Dad's letter, a green funeral involves no embalming, no cremation. Bodies are buried in biodegradable coffins and shallow graves in environmentally friendly cemeteries with a modest headstone.
I'm not having my husband buried in a shallow grave in a cardboard box.
Yeah, that's just disgusting.
I am not having my son buried like that. No way. No pauper's grave for my son.
Guys, this is what Dad wanted. At least hear what he has to say.
Oh, yes, of course.
To my dear family, as you know, I'm a bit of a greenie. Make no apologies for that. I take my 10-cent containers to the recycling centre, compost my food waste, avoid plastic as much as I can. As such, I would like to make a special request. It makes sense to me that when I die, that my body is disposed of in an environmentally friendly way. I've researched it and included details of my preferred options below. It says more, but I'll just hand it around.
No. Why didn't he give it to me? Why did he give it to you? Surely being a wife means something.
Shallow grave. That's not what Kavanagh's is used to.
Yeah, shallow grave. Wouldn't that be vulnerable to animals? What if Dad is dug up?
Oh, guys.
What? Wait a minute. Why did he give this to you? It's because I'm gay, isn't it? Dad never got over me coming out.
Oh, Marty.
I can't bear the thought of my son being buried.
Let's just stop. Why didn't he give it to me? Why didn't he give it to me? Guys, this is what Dad wanted. If he was a Buddhist or a Muslim, wouldn't we be doing what he says? Following those cultural behaviours? Dad wants to return his body to nature.
Wow, Steve. Well, since you put it like that.
So, what, that's it, is it then? I am not going to watch my son buried in a pauper's grave, and that is final. I will not be attending this funeral.
Grandma!
Now, wait.
Just at least read it when you get home.
Well, that went great.
Yeah, we apologise for our family's behaviour, Samantha.
Look, if it helps, we'd be happy to arrange a green alternative funeral for you guys, if that is what you guys want. As a family, you have to decide if you want that or the first option.
And what if we combined it with our original idea?
I think that's a great idea, Marty. Is that possible, Samantha?
Of course, Ellie. Of course it is.
When we're born, we're given a shiny, new vehicle. It looks soft and delicate and smells brand new. With this vehicle, we can touch, taste, smell, see, hear, and experience the world around us. Unlike a car, for several years, our vehicle actually improves. Becoming stronger, larger, faster. But just like any vehicle, time starts to take its toll. Our parts begin to wear out. Finally, it's time to leave. Our body, it's just a vehicle. When we die, it's no longer required.
Hello, Steve. I'm sorry, love. Let's do the grey thing. Let's do the green thing. It's what Grey wanted.
Sure, Grandma. Can we pick you up on the way?
Sit down.
I hear it's a hologram.
Yes, it's only the second one in Brisbane, you know. Can't you tell? That's why the congregation's seated so early.
How do they do it?
They actually, to make the hologram, they take footage from a person's past.
Huh?
And I think in this one they're using Esme's wedding.
Hi, I'm one of the mourners. My name is Barbara Granato.
I'm Paul Canton. I'm one of the mourners at this very sad time. The number one.
My name's Peter and I'm the star of the show.
Hi, my name's Melanie Pride and I'm playing Esme. And I'm a hologram bride at my own funeral.
My name's Kieran Cowald and I played Brian, who was the husband of the deceased.
Hi, I'm Lilo. I am playing the role of the clown.
Hi, my name is John Sales. I'm playing the priest.
Action, look up.
Mommy!
Joelle, Emma! I'm Emma and I was the sound recordist on today's shoot.
Camera's rolling.
Clapper. Action. Sad, girls. Cry. Make noise. Can you be a bit louder on the daddies, Layla?
Daddy. Hi, my name is Melanie Friends and I was the character Joelle. And she is the daughter of the lady who passed away and also the sister of the other girl. Hi, my name's Layla and I play the role Amarind. My mother came to the funeral as a hologram.
Hi, my name's Amy and I'm playing the nanny today.
Excuses.
Who are you?
I'm the Angel of Joy. I'm here to help you both find joy in the saddest of times.
Hi, I'm Derek. I'm the gaffer, so I've been providing lighting and bounce.
Hello, my name is Patricia Kiesler and I'm the organist in the movie.
Would you all please be upstanding for the hymn Amazing Grace? Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
Kids. Great, cut.
Hi, my name is Justin Wallace. I'm the director of The Clown. What really excites me about this project is the statement the film makes about the early adoption of technology and how you really need to consider all of the uses and impacts it will have on all the elements of society, because it doesn't really consider the effect of this great new technology and the hologram on the children.
My name's Heather Jones and I wrote The Clown. It's my first foray into screenplay writing. Screenplay came about because I wrote a short story and it was based on this story about a clown who comes to a funeral and a bride is there as a hologram.
I hear it's a hologram.
Yes, it's only the second one in Brisbane. Can't you tell? That's why the congregation's seated so early.
How do they do it?
They make the hologram from footage of the person's past. In this case, it was Esme's wedding. I think Brian's just trying to impress us.
Well, it must cost a fortune.
I'm glad we found each other, Brian.
Come on, it's time.
Joelle, Emma.
It's not real.
Excuse this. Come on, sit here.
Would you all please be upstanding for the hymn Amazing Grace?
Amazing grace, how sweet. Who are you?
I'm the angel of joy. I'm here to help you both find joy in the saddest of times.
I once was lost, but now I'm found.
Was blind, but now I see.
Where is she? It is real.
Gura de lag.
Who are you? How did you get in here? What do you want?
My name is Nisha.
Okay, niche, whatever your name is. You've got some explaining to do.
No. My name is Nisha. And you are David Parker?
Yes. Yes, I am. And what are you doing here?
I'm from here. I was born right here in Brisbane, but I remember nothing of it. This is all really strange and new to me. I was hoping to see something of it, perhaps, in a day.
Do you have a place to stay? Have you had something to eat? Why are you with me?
I'm staying nowhere. I'm hoping you may care for me for a day, maybe. And maybe show me around?
Yeah, I guess I can have you here and show you around for a bit. Why don't you come and get something to eat and I'll just try and sort something out. Thanks, Mike. Yeah. Yeah, I'll get to you in a day or so. Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks, mate. Bye. Right, that's that sorted. I've got 1 or 2 days off, so whenever you're ready, we'll get going. I need to go get changed. Be back.
Wow.
Wow, she just takes in everything with genuine excitement, and she's just full of questions. She's just like a 5-year-old in fairyland. Oh my god. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed your day. I've actually forgotten how much there is to see. I'll show you to the bathroom in case you want to get cleaned up while I organise dinner. And I'll get you something to wear for tonight, seeing how light you travelled. Here you are. Now, give it a try. I do live by myself, and my mum got me that for a housewarming gift. I know. The bathroom is this way. So yeah, here it is. Feel free to use anything you want in here. You got body washes here, so nothing really scented, I'm afraid. So yeah, take your time. I will be in the kitchen. Come get it!
David, is this real Neal?
Yeah, of course it is. Why do you ask?
It's beautiful. I've never had real meat before.
Okay. You can. I've only got the 1 bedroom tonight, so you can have it. And I'll just stay on the couch.
No, that's not fair. I can easily make do on the couch. Or we can share the bed. I don't really mind.
Yeah. Okay. If you are sure you're okay with that. Nisha, coffee.
You're a love.
Hey, so it's about last night. I just want to apologize. I got a little carried away.
It's okay. It's my last day, by the way.
Oh, it is your last day. We don't really have much time left. There's one more place I want to take you, but it's a bit of a drive.
Let's do it.
Okay?
This is glorious. How dreadful it would be to lose all this. What a waste.
David, I'm conscious of the time. Thank you for everything you've done for me, but I know it'll take a while to get back, and I really must leave soon.
Nisha, you've been such a lovely girl. But you've just been all questions and no answers. I need to know what's going on. Just who you are and where you came from and what you're doing.
Alright, David. It's time you knew. I'm not quite sure where to begin, but everything I say is real and true. Do you understand?
Of course I understand. Whether I'll believe it, well, that's another story.
I guarantee you'll believe it. Okay, let me begin. I was born right here in Brisbane. I've lived here my entire life, but far, far into the future. In the year 4044. We've just mastered the means to time travel. It's something I've been working on my whole life. That's why I've been allowed to make one of the first journeys.
Nisha, but why here? Why now?
Here? Now? Because from the beginning of time to my time, 2022 is neatly halfway. And believe it or not, we've been able to track records far back to identify just you, precisely.
But there could have been many of choices. Why pick me?
Because about 80 generations removed, you are my grandfather.
How is that even possible? I don't even have grandkids or even children, let alone a partner.
You soon will. And your line will continue. Thank you so very much for everything you've done for me. This has been the highlight of my life. I know you have your doubts, and you may think I'm crazy, but very soon you will believe. I hope someday to come back and visit, and I can tell you more. Zibagaha balaheba zebara. Thank you again, David. Blessings upon you.
it all started for me in 2030 when I interviewed Just in Time, who was head of the 2032 Brisbane Olympics. Simon Vigor here for Galaxy News. Now, we're privileged here today to have with us Just in Time, who's the media head of the 2032 Olympic Games now, which are in Brisbane, of course. Good to have you.
Oh, it's good to be had, Simon.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about this mascot competition?
Yeah, we're looking for budding artists from Queensland, or perhaps not even budding artists. But what we want are sculptures or drawings or paintings of a creature. Now, this creature could be a bird or a fish or a mammal or even an insect that best represents Brisbane. This is your chance to shine.
Beautiful. Now, where do they send the entries to?
They send them to me, Just in Time, by the 1st of March, which also happens to be World Futures Day.
Fantastic. Thanks for your time.
Oh, that's okay. Time by name, time by nature.
Simon Galaxy from Vigor News. No, sorry, Simon.
That's great.
Simon Vigor from Galaxy News signing off. Just in Time comes from a long family of Times. His grandfather, Nick of Time, was Australia's first herbologist and is currently living in Brisbane. Well, perhaps only just. Justin didn't follow the family traditions, instead going into the media. 12 months ago, he was appointed media head of the Olympic Games 32, and the idea of a mascot competition was his, conceived in the bowels. At least, that's where his office was, in the basement of the Olympic headquarters. Jasmine Plant was elected Premier of Queensland in 2028 to wild celebrations.
So it is now my pleasure to announce that Jasmine Plant, member of the Greens, is now the Premier of Queensland.
She has a background as a former CEO of Skyways, the drone company. She leads by example by always wearing green and often carrying a plant around. She is a charismatic person whose warmth, care and compassion charms all those she meets. She also comes across as rather eccentric and recently took up Irish dancing and plays the harmonica badly. Unsurprisingly, she has recently been appointed as patron of St. Patrick's Day. Fabian is a freelance artist, confident, arrogant and a creative force of nature. He entered last year's Archibald Prize, but sadly his painting, while in the Archibald storeroom, was weed on by a bulldog, and his paint ran. He found out about the mascot competition from his wife, Cynthia, who is a compulsive magazine reader, who discovered about it in the Queensland Perfect magazine.
That's better. Inspiration.
He likes to throw his whole body into his art, often breaking out into unusual dance moves while painting. Sally Painter is a nurse. She worked for many years in Aboriginal health on Palm Island, where she gained an affinity and love of Aboriginal people and painting. She is quiet, shy and caring. Many a time she has not wanted to rise from bed, but inner strength has allowed her to emerge from those dark clouds. She practiced the art of tree standing, which, as the name suggests, means standing like a tree, balancing on one leg. Initially she had balance issues and on one occasion fell and broke her wrist. After much practice she became so good at tree standing that she could stand even in a storm, even when it was blowing wildly. She found out about the mascot competition whilst watching TV and was determined to get her palette out and paint again. Himari Yoshiba is a budding animator and filmmaker, often filming on her phone or any other device that she can get hold of. Being a first-generation Japanese Australian, she has recently immersed herself in Japanese culture and has taken to making paper cranes. The crane symbolises honour, good fortune, loyalty and longevity. She has produced a series of Vine videos explaining the meaning of the crane, and when she sees people in the street, will often gift them a paper crane. She discovered about the mascot competition while reading her phone one day and immediately thought of the Brolga Queensland Special Crane. She first saw the Brolga while camping with her parents and was immediately smitten. Ned from the Shed only recently discovered his artistic ability. He didn't know anything about the mascot competition until...
God, mate, this is looking good. Gee, you should go into the Olympic mascot competition.
I'm too big to be a mascot.
Not you, you lumpus. The kangaroo.
And so he entered Cassidy the Roo and Hopalong Cassary into the competition.
Premier, did you know we've had over 5,000 entries for the mascot competition?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. I'd love you to be able to hear the sales pitch of the shortlisted contestants and, of course, announce the winner a few weeks later on. We have a shortlist of 3.
Well, I'd love to, but that's a short list.
I was thinking if we had too many, it would be a long shortlist.
Well, you could have had a medium list.
Oh, yeah. But that sounds a bit like a list of mediums. We didn't want to be interviewing astrologers.
I see and agree. But it's better for those coming to know that they're part of a short list than a long list.
Or a medium list.
Exactly.
3 of our protagonists made it to the final of the mascot competition and each reacted enthusiastically. Sally leapt in the air. Hirami let out a ear-piercing scream. And as for Fabian, he just kept on dancing. Sadly, Ned from the Shed didn't make it to the final. Both Himari and Sally were rather nervous about having to give pictures, so Sally thought she'd practice hers on her dogs.
So guys, I'm thinking with this mascot competition, Angell used to be the traditional owner's name for Brisbane, and Mount Gravatt was Echidna Mountain because there were so many of them there. So I'm thinking we could doubly honour the Turrbal and Yagara people by naming the Echidna Angell. What do you think?
It was the morning of the pitch and Sally realised 3 things. Firstly, that it was the morning of the pitch. Secondly, that she'd woken up late. And thirdly, she forgot to charge her car the night before and so she'd have to catch the train. She did some tree standing meditation to calm herself and quickly got ready. She looked at her watch, realising it's 15 minutes dash to the station.
Is this the place to pitch for the mascot?
Yes, it is. You got the place.
So what's your idea?
A good one, I hope.
No. What's your mascot?
Oh, a brolga called Bridget.
Not so good then.
Good what?
Idea. Not such a good idea then.
Oh, really? And yours?
Brizzy, the blue-banded bee. Fantastic.
A bee like buzzing one?
Yeah, buzzing and everything.
My brolga ate your bee.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Well, can I say I'm excited to be here?
Yes, please say that.
I am excited to be here. I know you've spoken to Justin Time, media head of the Olympics, and he's asked you to be here today, and you are. Although not all of you are here, as it appears, Sally Painter, one of our shortlisted, is not here. So it looks like our shortlist is getting shorter. Anyway, enough philosophy from me. Justin will take it from here.
Thank you, Madam Premier. I'd like to congratulate you for making it this far. And now I'd like you to address your art and tell us why it best represents Brisbane and these Olympic Games. Who would like to go first?
You go, mate.
Oh, no. This is the last impression that lasts. Please, after you.
Okay, well, my father say always make a good first impression, so I will say my piece. So what do you mean by address? Do I talk to the art or to you?
About talking about the art to us.
Okie dokie. Here is the Bridget brolga, the most beautiful Australian bird. In Japanese culture, crane is a sign of peace and prosperity. Brolga is a crane and is uniquely Australian, and more brolgas are found in Queensland than anywhere. I love its grace, its beauty, the very essence of its meaning. I think the world is full of cranes, and it best represents the message that we can try to get out to the world.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. All right, Fabian.
Excuse me, please. I've got Brizzy, the bee, as happy as can be. They find him in your garden so the world can see how necessary is his identity for pollination, for plants and population. I think you will agree, Brizzy's the mascot for me. The Brizzy, blue-banded bee. Yes!
Wow, a wordsmith. We're looking for someone to compose a song. Maybe you could be the next Sting.
Very funny. But I do have 1,000 lovely songs in my heart.
Oh, just one good one will do.
Yes, I like it. Bees are so necessary for our environment. I have many of them in my garden of green. What's happened to the painter lady?
Oh, I've got a text to say she can't make it.
Oh, that's a shame. I did like her meandrin.
Actually, I have a paper crane to give out to all of you as a sign of peace.
Oh, thank you. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, great. A crane in the neck.
Pardon?
Just music.
Not amusing though. Arigato, Hamari. We love the values that your crane represents, and we love your beautiful design.
Thank you.
So, what happens now?
Well, in 2 weeks' time, we'll make an announcement at a local community hall. You're all invited.
So now it's just between my Brizzy, the blue-banded bee, and the crane thing. Right?
Oh, there were a few others that we'll look at, but thank you very much for coming.
Would you like me to sing you another bee song?
I think we're fine.
Well, it's time to buzz off then, isn't it?
Thank you very much, Auntie Udjuru, for that wonderful welcome to country. And thank you everyone else for coming along, and I hope you feel welcome. Tonight, it is time. It is time to announce the winner of the mascot competition.
Yay!
And we have our beautiful Premier here to announce that winner. But before we pass over to the Premier, I have a premiere for you here tonight. I've put together a bit of a slideshow of some of the contestants, and I'm sure you will look at the quality and gasp in delight of all the entrants that have been made tonight. So, are you ready to roll? Let's see. It's time for a show. Yes, you should clap this. This is Groucho Barks. This is right on. Isn't he beautiful? Never met a dog I didn't like. Right, well those are the contestants. And as the music plays, we get ready for the announcement of the winner of the mascot competition.
Yes.
Please welcome the Premier of Queensland, Jasmine Plant.
Thank you, Justin. Good evening, everyone. It's very exciting. I'm honoured to be here today.
What the hell's going on?
Oh my God. Wow. Gee. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
911, what's your emergency?
Ambulance. Yes, it's at the Activity Centre, Indooroopilly, Stanford Road. Who? It's the Premier. The Premier is down. I repeat, the Premier is down.
I think we need to get some fresh air. Someone help?
Yes, we're coming. Yeah, it's the Premier. Okay. You want me to follow? Yeah.
Hold on. So who won the competition then?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Fabian. I'm sorry, people of the audience. There will be no announcement tonight. Madam Premier, wait for me!
For goodness sake!
This is Simon Vigor here from Galaxy News. Now, we're privileged to have the Premier, Jasmine Plant, with us today. It's good that you've recovered to full health.
Thank you.
I understand that you're going to announce the winner of the mascot competition.
That's
today.
right, yes. And the winner of the mascot competition is...
Oh, that's a good choice.
Yes.
this is-
Sorry. I always hyperventilate when I hear an ambulance now.
I actually kept in touch with all those finalists of the mascot competition as a matter of interest. And Hamari Yoshiba became a renowned director. In fact, she became an icon in Japanese cinema. And she was nominated for an Academy Award as a director for her latest film, Cranium, which is proving to be a mega hit. As for Sally Painter, she's known affectionately as the Brisbane Dog Whisperer. She paints dogs too, or she doesn't actually put paint on the dogs, she actually does portraits of the dogs. And some dogs have been known to sit there for 5 hours while she does a portrait of them. She's such a great whisperer. And as for Fabian, he continued to do his art and enter the Archibald competition. In fact, in 2036, he entered a self-portrait of himself. Oh, well, actually, who else would you do a self-portrait of? And amazingly, it won. But you know, I'm really proud to own the original painting of the winner of that mascot competition, the mascot for the 2032 Brisbane Olympics. Mascot, mascot, wah, 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 wah.
Mascot, mascot, wah, 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 wah.
Who's going to win the mascot competition today?
Who's going to win the mascot competition today?
Echidna.
Echidna.
Blue Banded Bee.
Blue Banded Bee.
Bridget Bolger.
Bridget Bolger.
Cassidy the Roo.
Cassidy the Roo.
Hop along, cassowary.
Hop along, cassowary.
Mascot, mascot.
Mascot, mascot.
Ba ba da ba 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 ba. Ba ba da ba 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 ba. Ba da 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 da. Mascot, mascot. Ba da 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 da. Ba da 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 da. Ba da 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 ba.
In the early 1900s, there was a wonderful author and journalist who took the pen name Steele Rudd. His most famous characters were Dad and Dave, two funny bushies from out west of Brisbane. In this extract from At the University, Dad, in the language of the time, expresses his faith in the future of Brisbane.
Brisbane is going to be a great city. A very great city. The difference the last 30 years have made in it, no man that were not a magician could imagine. 'Twere nearly all vacant allotments and bits of shanties. And old horses with no legs on them were struggling to drag buses loaded with fat women up the steep hills. The poor old crops could hardly drag their tails behind them. The population weren't more than a fistful, and nobody were doing anything except the hurdy-gurdy man and the hot pie sellers and the busted banks. Everybody else were just walking about, or leaning against the posts, or against one another. Oh. Morning. Beautiful day. Well, now look at it. 'Tis full of grand shops and emporiums, and people and tram cars and picture palaces, treasury buildings. schools and churches and pubs and unemployed. And a university. Were the university that interested me more than all the rest of it put together. 'Tis there at the bottom of George's Street. When you come out of the gardens, where all the kangaroos are. And them damn little monkeys. Oh, you'll see it. If you come out the right way.
Well, Umpy Carumba.
Hello, I'm looking for the marbles headline.
Behind you. Last service to the new year.
Thanks.
Merry Christmas.
We'll be departing in a moment. May I see your ticket, please, sir? Thank you, sir. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Do you feel like you're spending more time travelling in and around Brisbane? Do the roads seem busier all the time? Does everywhere seem more crowded in the last 10 to 20 years? Since 1991, massive population growth has occurred in the outer Brisbane suburbs that form southeast Queensland, stretching from Coolangatta in the south, Noosa Heads in the north, and Ipswich and Toowoomba to the west. Covering over 35,000 square kilometres, the population of this region has expanded from 1.9 million people in 1991 to 3.8 million in 2021. And is expected to increase to 4.4 million by 2031. Southeast Queensland will experience an annual growth rate of 1.8% per year to 2031, compared to 1.14% for Sydney and 1.38% for Melbourne over the same period. The region's increasing population means that more than 700,000 extra homes will be needed over the next 20 years, bringing the total number of dwellings in southeast Queensland to 1.9 million. That's more than 80 new homes per day by 2031. It is projected that there will be a 210% increase in households in the Ipswich area, compared with 60% on the Gold Coast and 80% on the Sunshine Coast. By 2030, more than 170,000 vehicles will travel along the Pacific Highway between Brisbane and the Gold Coast daily, almost double 2005 volumes. The response by successive state governments to this challenge has been substantial. Infrastructure spending totalling $124 billion will be invested by 2026, with $95 billion allocated for road, rail and public transport infrastructure. Well before the 2032 Olympics have been announced, a number of significant road and motorway projects have already been undertaken, such as the Clem Jones Tunnel, the Gateway Motorway South, M1 Pacific Motorway upgrades, Port of Brisbane Motorway upgrade, Ipswich Motorway and Centenary Highway upgrades. A number of public transport projects are also underway, such as the Eastern Busway, Cross River Rail, Coolangatta Rail Extension, Gold Coast Light Rail, train line capacity upgrades, all in the name of preparing southeast Queensland for 2031 and beyond. Across southeast Queensland, as in most of Australia, the car will continue to shoulder the majority of the transport task for the foreseeable future. Private vehicles account for 77% of traffic on urban roads in Brisbane, with car use in southeast Queensland growing at a rate faster than population growth, placing an additional 200,000 vehicles on the road by 2026. Public transport will play an essential role in accommodating new growth by reducing car travel through the creation of parallel public transport networks. While public transport plays an essential role in southeast Queensland, major enhancements to the system will continue to be needed just to keep pace with the population growth. So what happens when the transport network is operating at maximum capacity and building new infrastructure is no longer feasible? Like all types of infrastructure, road assets have a finite capacity. This will have to be managed by a first-in, first-served system, such as T2 and T3 or public transport lanes, extending our bikeway networks, increasing the frequency of our trains, or by a road pricing system where commuters pay tolls for the use of the asset. In the future, we can expect to see variable time-of-day road user charges and congestion charging being introduced. The challenge that southeast Queensland faces is that tolling has been used as an instrument to finance new road developments, not as a mechanism to encourage the use of alternate transport means. Current long-term planning across governments in southeast Queensland is for periods of less than 20 years, but in order to be sustainable, this horizon has to be significantly increased to 50 years. Maintaining a commitment to deliver projects in the infrastructure pipeline will be critical to securing the region's growth. delaying difficult decisions about preserving land corridors for future needs may carry a large opportunity cost and increased levels of car dependency and congestion in the long term.
So, what's this then, love? Something to sweeten me up? Are you trying to grovel here, love?
Just a little morning pleasure, my sweet.
Oh, up to no good. Oh.
Edie, love, just sit, have your cuppa and enjoy your berries without all the fussing.
Well, why blueberries? I just don't get it.
Brisbane Lions doing well again, undefeated at the Gabba this year. That's it, love. Just breathe in and hold. That's it, love. You're right, love. I'm here. You're right, love. Just keep breathing. Another emergency relieved, my love. Another moment spared.
Yeah, another moment.
Come on, love. Let's sit on the porch for a bit. And I'll make us a nice cuppa to have with them blueberries. How's that, love? You do love the mornings out here? Them birds will keep you company whilst I make us a cup of tea. Brought out the Royal Dalton too, love. I know it's for special occasions,
But this is, eh, love? There you go, love. Drink up then.
Why blueberries? I mean, couldn't they waited till less pricey?
Edie, my love, the only season is now. Blueberries are in season for us now.
Our time's nearly up, love.
Yeah.
It's been good.
Yeah.
6 kids. 13 grand. 4 great-grandkids. Blueberries, love?
Now, don't go fussing, love.
Oh, no, no.
I can eat my own food.
Yes, of course. Blueberries.
Ha! I remember that day. You were so tiny. You thought I was the best thing since sliced bread back then. It was about 6 months before you all moved to Sydney. Now look at you. All grown up. Well, I can tell you now, we're not sitting here all day. Right, we're going to the museum.
That sounds really boring.
Well, what do you want to do?
I don't know. Everything's just so boring in Brisbane. There's way more to do at home.
Well, I think you should take a little bit more pride in where your old granddad was born and bred.
Okay. Maybe there is one thing we could do. We're given clues about Brisbane. We have to answer the questions to get to the next clue. We win prizes.
Bet it's expensive.
Nah, it's cheap and it's for the whole day.
Bet it's difficult.
Nah, it's easy. It's called hidden. Look, let me show you. See? There's a choice of treasure hunts we could do.
Well, I suppose we could do the fan trails thing. They've been banging on about them on TV enough lately. Supposed to be a lot of fun. And we could walk under the tree canopy too, it'll be cooler. Gets bloody hot out there. You know, Logan, 10 years ago, there weren't any trees there at all. Now they're calling Brisbane the subtropical capital of Australia, a city in a jungle. I reckon that kind of makes sense. What do you think?
Yeah, I certainly buy that. It's different to Sydney. Okay, let's do it. So it says we have to go to Lang Park Stadium to start. Something about a beacon. Map says it's just around the corner.
Wow.
Okay, here's the first clue. It's just come up. It's a multiple choice question, or a multiple guess as we call them in school. You know the answer to this one though, I'm sure, Mr. Born and Bred. Right, here we go. What is Lang Park's nickname? Is it A, the Potbelly, B, the Cauldron, or C, the Brew?
Ha! Easy. The Cauldron.
Sweet. Alright, Grandad. You just scored us 5,000 points in the next clue.
But why are all these QR codes around here everywhere for?
Well, let's find out.
Welcome to Lang Park. My name is Elena, which in my country of Ukraine means shining light. This beacon represents courage. Courage, to me, is something that you cannot frame.
Fascinating. Logan, I bet you didn't know this. There used to be a lot of First Nation campsites all around here. The one over by the Brisbane Arena was a traditional fighting ground.
Yeah, right. It says that here too.
Great.
Alright, next clue. Ready? Sentences are given out here. What does that mean?
Well, hopefully, Logan, you'll never get one. It's the law courts. They're not far from here. Let's go.
We've got the next clue. Right, this one's a tad tricky. It's a series of questions. You ready, Grandad?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the first one. Is this the original site for the Supreme Court?
No, it's not.
That's right. Well, where was the original site then?
Ooh. Corner of George and Adelaide Streets.
Alright, geez. Well, $10 says you won't know the answer to this one. Which year was the original Supreme Court burnt down?
1st of September 1968.
Right, how do you know all this?
It's written on the sign here. What? Excellent. $10, please.
Right, we have to take an airball of us together with the law courts behind us so that we can upload it to Instagram.
What in the name of King wouldn't the thing is an airball?
Well, it's like taking a selfie. It'll prove that we're here.
Right.
We'll get extra points if we do.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sick. If we get 9 more airballs answering the next 9 questions, we can win a mystery prize.
Right.
Oh, but it says we have to do this by 5 today. I wonder if this has anything to do with the Olympics starting tonight.
Maybe. But Logan, you know, I reckon we can win this prize. Are you in?
Yeah, sick. But can we first get some food, please? I'm starving. Maybe something along these fan trails. Hey, oh, there's like the Asian quarter or the African quarter around here somewhere.
Yeah, but the next clue is at the Brisbane Arena, and that takes us through the Americas quarter.
Okay.
We can grab something there and save some time. Just as long as it's not one of those Trump burgers. I can't stomach that bright orange buns and fake fries, all right?
Sounds like a sweet plan.
Excellent.
Maybe this time you were right. There is a lot more happening to Brisbane than I'd realised, and it's kind of fun, I guess. Hey Pops, we gotta hurry. It's nearly 5 and we've got one last clue to solve. Where to start? Oh, hang on, look. If I point my phone in this direction, it turns red, and if it goes in this direction, it turns blue. It's like the getting hotter, getting colder game we used to play together, Pops.
The hide and seek game, yeah.
So it's asking, what does this beacon represent or symbolize?
The word Woolloongabba literally means talk fight place. That, I think, will be the answer to our next clue. Fitting, isn't it?
Oh yeah, mad Pops. That's it. Alrighty, last question. What is Woolloongabba also known as? We've got 2 chances. Is it 1, whirling pools, 2, under trees, 3, lilies, or 4, 1 mile swamp?
Oh, geez, I don't know. Let's go with 1 mile swamp.
Okay.
Ah,
Well,
damn.
We don't know, do we?
No.
I think I'm just gonna take a guess. Gonna go with whirling pools.
Yep, go with it.
Yes! Yes! Alright, we gotta take this last air ball.
We won! We've won tickets to the opening Olympic ceremony. You wait till I tell your parents, Logan. They're gonna love this.
Better than going to the museum, hey?
As a piece of jewellery, leaves a lot to be desired. As an alarm, it's really quite effective. I'm here in my own home, 10 years, 5 months, and 3 days. It's punishment for my crime. I couldn't apply for anything less. They call it a dry case because a skimmer recorded me as it happened. So, no jury, no courtroom, there's just a judge, and he confirms all the evidence is correct. Now that the government is taking crime seriously, they get the police to do it all. They bring the hologram of the skimmers to the judge. The judge signs off on the charge, and straight to jail you go. Well, you know, it takes away all the time in the courtroom. Not very many people claim they're innocent, not when they've got the skimmer's testimony. It's funny because I was one of the ones that defended the skimmers when they first came out. I was against crime. I even went on protests with them. Nearly got my head cracked in by their opponents. Japan has them, and they're a little bit like a drone. No, they're not really. They're much smaller and harder to spot, just like the one that got me. I didn't realise how global these machines had become. And what an advancement on CCTVs. So here I am in St. Lucia, a nice little suburb of Brisbane. New World City, they call it. At least I'm allowed to have visitors. I just don't get any. Be nice to sit out there on the balcony and enjoy some fresh air and entertain some guests. My family and friends all faded away after what I did. It was too terrible. I only have my sponsor from AA to talk to. I mean, AA is open 24/7. They never close. But I don't think they like me very much neither. It was all over the news, all over social media. That's why nobody comes here. Except for the provider who brings me my groceries. I had this guy called Wayne who came to see me last week to bring me a few things. He said he might have seen me somewhere before. I was terrified. All I could think of was Olivia. One little girl. Olivia. I started to cry. I started to cry and blubber over anything. He said he'd see me on his media device. They were all over it. I couldn't hide. And that's all I wanted to do, was hide. Afterwards, we had to write a letter. Well, the only person I could think of to write to was the person I hurt the most. Her mother. Would she ever be able to forgive me? I know I wouldn't if it was me. I'd change places with her in a heartbeat. I told the teacher that I would write a letter to myself 6 months before the accident. I put a whole heap of advice in the letter. Mostly rubbish and cliche. I said, make a diary. Don't eat too much. Don't talk to strangers. Go to the girl's grave. There's no way I can jump out of my skin and take off the ankle bracelet. That's what I want to do. Truth is, I just don't want to go on. My past keeps catching up with me into the present, and then it stops. And all my future plans. Wouldn't it be nice if we could just stop every organ in our body? Be better if we could just breathe and cease. 10 years, 5 months, and 3 days. Then I wouldn't have to go through it. One of the guardians came to see me last week. They wanted to put me on a roster, something about folding laundry, writing, playing piano. It's something that guardians do for prisoners. And I respect the guardians, so I listened, but I just didn't talk to her. I know that if I left these 4 walls, the public would strike me down, push me and shove me just like they did in the courtroom. I really couldn't take that. And that's why I live here with my guilt. The neighbours are only saying what everybody else is saying. It was just a matter of time before the truth came out. What would I say to Olivia's mother? I'd say I'm sorry. What rubbish. What does that even mean? I never even saw her as I turned the curb. just a shadow in the headlights. And of course, I was drunk. 100% proof. I didn't even leave the scene after that. I just collapsed behind the wheel. And so I keep my peace. Maybe one day I'll walk out through the doors and nobody will know who I am. Maybe one day I'll forgive myself and allow myself a new start.
You ever feel like you're stuck in a rat race? Just wandering aimlessly, searching for something that you think is obtainable, but it isn't. Here's my process for unlocking when I can't write. I try to give myself nightmares. I picture my living room where I'm meditating, trying to process my next idea, but then it slowly creeps in. And without warning, writer's block. The manifestation of a little imp just creeping around and tossing all of my ideas together in a confusing mess. And then I wake up and I realize what I must do. I look out over the city like a comic book vigilante planning my next move. I find that taking nightly strolls help, but I also need the most important part of it, music. You see, with these nightly walks, plus the music, it puts me in a very creative space where I could just let my mind roam, be free to come up with all kinds of ideas. As I walk down the street, I see things at night differently. The city seems to come more alive. So I just roam. No particular place in mind. I just go. Sometimes I'll take in a beverage, just look out at the city. Music still playing, and I move again. I like to take in the wonders of what the nightlife has to offer. See what she shows me. Take it all in. Did I mention there's a lot of walking involved? On this particular night, I do believe I cleared 10 Ks, but it was all worth it. I get one more last shot, and then I decide what's next. What do I see? I continue to walk. Sometimes I take a break and just stare up at the sky. Then it hits me. Oh, it's coming. An idea is pushing in. Then it's back to the lab to create my 11th tomorrow.
Andrew McGann's novel Last Drinks is set in Fortitude Valley post-Expo 88, when Brisbane was starting to think of itself as a world city. Tim and I are going to play the main character George, a political insider who left town when it all went down, post the Fitzgerald inquiry and the dismantling of the corrupt Bjelke-Petersen government. In this scene, George comes back to a changed Brisbane.
The city I drove into now was a new Brisbane, and it was nothing like the town that I remembered. It was Sunday, early afternoon. Back in my day, Sunday was the epitome of all that was wrong with Brisbane. Nothing was open, nothing was happening. People stayed home to watch football and cricket on the TV, and the streets would be deserted. Now, as I drove towards the centre of town, traffic on the main roads was heavy.
Wollongabba passed by, and then I was in Kangaroo Point, up along the cliffs. Traffic slowed to a crawl, and I gazed out over the Brisbane River. Broad and muddy, it had always wound its way through the city. But it had never been like this.
Now it was lined with new parks and new boardwalks and marinas teeming with yachts.
There were riverbank trails busy with bike riders and rollerbladers.
Sleek ferries cruised back and forth, their decks packed.
Along the cliffs themselves, families were having picnics, watching climbers and abseilers go up and down the rocks.
And across the river was the city centre.
Not only were there plenty of new office and apartment blocks, but they looked grander.
They'd been designed.
Not just thrown up like the cement piles I remembered.
They had spires and ornaments. They gleamed in the sun.
At their feet, a whole new esplanade of restaurants and bars fronted the river.
And people everywhere I looked.
Ambling about, at ease, out of their homes.
I sweated in my car.
Somehow disturbed by it all.
I must have sang my song about leaving Brisbane one too many times. Then I found my old town Brisbane leaving me behind. Heard about the new Bris Vegas with the neon flashing lights. Back then there wasn't much to do but to watch the traffic lights. I love you, Brisbane. I don't want to fight. Will you love me in the morning if I lie with you tonight? I love you, Brisbane. I don't want to fight. Will you love me in the morning if I lie with you tonight? Will you love me in the morning if I lie with you tonight? Will you love me in the morning if I lie with you?
Big finish.
Tonight.